In this video, I'm going to share with you what I learned about why the price of the Quartermaster is about $15,000 more than the Grenadier, and why it turns out that you can't really blame INEOS. Hi, my name's Josh, and I'm an INEOS Grenadier superfan. I've been waiting just about 3 years for my Grenadier to be delivered, still waiting, and I spent a lot of time looking at all things INEOS Automotive, and the new Quartermaster pricing caught my eye. So let's take a look. INEOS Grenadier Quartermaster North American pricing and ordering was recently announced. However, there's a little bit of sticker shock when compared to the Grenadier station wagon pricing. So I set out to see why the big difference. Is it more standard features, or is the Grenadier going to have a major price bump soon to come in line with the Quartermaster? Or is there something super special about the Quartermaster that makes it cost more than the Grenadier? You know, besides its rugged utility and longer wheelbase. Fun fact, the Quartermaster is named after the senior military officer responsible for the supply and distribution of provisions. The 5-seat double cab Quartermaster was actually developed in tandem with the Grenadier station wagon and is being built on the same production line in Hambach, France. The Quartermaster is engineered to deliver the same uncompromising off-road capability and dependability as a station wagon, but with greater load-carrying versatility. It shares the station wagon's full box section ladder frame, chassis, heavy-duty solid beam axles, 2-speed transfer case, up to 3 locking differentials, and power comes from the same BMW 3.0-liter turbocharged inline-6 engine and 8-speed ZF transmission as the Grenadier station wagon. A diesel version is available, but just sadly not in North America. The largest model in the Grenadier lineup, the Quartermaster rides on an extended 127-inch wheelbase. That's 12 inches longer than the station wagon. This extended chassis creates a large and highly versatile load bay with a payload of 1,675 pounds. The Quartermaster lineup will mirror that of the Grenadier station wagon and is available in a base model, Trialmaster, and Fieldmaster trim. So, if the Quartermaster is such a close sibling to the Grenadier, what's the explanation on the base price being $15,000 more than the Grenadier? Here's what I learned. If you put on your trade and export cap and are of a certain age, you might notice that pickup trucks have never really been heavily imported to the US by many manufacturers, and that's because of a 60-year-old trade tariff referred to as the chicken tax. Yeah, you heard me, chicken tax. The chicken tax is a 25% tariff on light-duty trucks and originally potato starch, dextrin, and brandy imposed in January of 1964 by the United States under President Lyndon Johnson in response to tariffs placed by France and West Germany on importation of U.S. chicken. Eventually, the tariffs on potato starch, dextrin, and brandy were lifted, but ever since 1964, this form of protectionism has remained in place to give the U.S. domestic automakers an advantage over imported competitors. 1964 also happened to be an election year, and President Johnson was attempting to curry favor with the United Auto Workers to prevent them from calling a strike in an election year. So the tariff on light-duty pickup trucks remained. Over the years, auto manufacturers learned to work around the chicken tax by either shipping pre-manufactured parts to have their final assembly in the U.S., or by establishing factories in the U.S., Mexico, or Canada, something the likes of Toyota, Honda, and Nissan have done. Mercedes-Benz literally would ship kits of unassembled parts over to the assembly plant in the US to avoid this tax. So that leaves the Quartermaster facing the 25% tariff until INEOS either establishes assembly or manufacturing in the US, Canada, or Mexico. And while there have been rumors that INEOS is looking to do just that, the Quartermaster arrival will likely help to confirm that this may one day happen. So for now, a US buyer, and note this does not apply to Canada, we'll see pricing that includes this tariff. Let's see what it looks like. My example is using the launch US pricing since this is a problem unique to the US market. If you subtract the 25% tariff from the $86,900 base price of the Quartermaster, you get roughly $69,250, which is in spitting distance from the base Grenadier station wagon pricing. The Quartermaster, Trialmaster, and Fieldmaster, say that 3 times real fast, has a price of $94,900, and if you subtract the tariff, you end up at $75,920. Again, just beneath the US Grenadier pricing for the Belstaff editions. So the core pricing seems to be in line if it weren't for that tariff. Unfortunately, there's no current way around this tariff. so buyers will have to pay the MSRP that includes the tariff until INEOS figures out how to work around it, which other auto manufacturers have successfully done and continue to do. Just don't expect it to happen anytime soon. But then again, INEOS is one unique company. Look at what they've built from zero in just a few years to now delivering the Grenadier to 20 out of 40 intended markets. If you are interested in the Quartermaster, I wouldn't let the pricing stop you. This is a one-of-a-kind, super cool 4x4 truck that is purpose-built, so nothing directly compares to it in my book. So there you have it, a little trivia for your day. Please click the like button if you found it interesting, and consider subscribing if you're an INEOS Grenadier or Quartermaster fan. And leave a comment if you're considering a Quartermaster, and let the community know what excites you most about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.